This is the Ibanez TQ-M1. So these are kind of like a bed that you can put your sound on. Every single one of the tops is unique, like I showed you one earlier.
Mine is pretty much based on the Prestige AZ dual humbucker one. Everything just sounds exactly like it's supposed to. Mahogany body, flame maple top, and transparent aqua blue. Killer looking guitar.
Hello guys, my name is Guillaume and I'm here at Thomann as usual. I hope you're all doing very well today. I'm very excited here because I'm sitting with two of my all-stars favorite guitar players. I'm really happy to be here with Mr. Tom Quayle and Mr. Martin Miller.
It's a pleasure.
I'm very good. I'm thrilled actually.
Oh, cool. So are we.
Just wanted to put that out of the way. So this is where I'm at. And we're here to talk about these beautiful guitars. Let's just quickly go over the specs for the ones that might not be familiar with these.
Okay.
So, Ibanez guitars.
Yes.
Please, sir.
Okay, so this is the Ibanez TQ-M1. This guitar features an older body. Really nice contours on here, really easy upper fret access. This is where everybody goes, what? It's got a monkey pod top.
Yeah.
Okay, so people haven't really heard of this wood. It's a kind of exotic tone wood from the Far East, and it looks like Chewie's fur from Star Wars.
Yeah, it does.
But we were talking about it before. The really cool thing about these guitars is every single one of the tops is unique, like I showed you one earlier that was crazy figured. So, you know, you can kind of pick a guitar that kind of looks the way that you want it to look. We've got Seymour Duncan Hyperion pickups. So these are kind of like a bed that you can put your sound on.
They're really transparent.
They're not kind of boosted too much in any particular frequency, which is nice. This is the Gotoh T1802. Sounds like something from the Terminator.
Massive saddles.
Yeah, these are titanium. So this is based off the Gotoh 510, which people think is like, this is super geeky, but they think it's the best bridge that Gotoh ever made.
Most of the guys here are here from that.
Exactly. So the Gotoh 510 you'll find on loads of boutique high-end guitars. But what Ibanez did is they kind of paired up with Gotoh and made this bridge with smaller string spacing or closer string spacing. That means that kind of modern techniques like hybrid picking, tapping, which I never do, but all of those kind of techniques are a lot easier, or somewhat easier because of the string spacing.
Much distance to cover in between the strings,
Titanium saddles, so you've got longevity, good sustain, so on and so forth. Really nice kind of easy removable bar. And then you've got a big steel block in the back. So again, sustain, that kind of thing. So it's pretty big. I also have one at home that's got brass in it as well. It sounds slightly different, which is kind of cool. This is quite cool. So you've got a 5-way switch, obviously humbucker single. So obviously you can do all the position 4 and 2 Strat sounds, single coil in the neck, but this is called the alter switch.
Yeah.
So the whole thing together is called a dynamic system. And what they've done is if you flick this up, you get a whole different set of sounds. So you've got, I was showing you earlier.
That's brilliant.
You can go from like a nice single coil kind of vibe. So lots of clarity. If you flick this up, it's like basically like a hollow body jazz tone. It's super cool. And it wires these two in series, I'm going to say, I believe. But then you get another 4 sounds as well. He has 10. So I have 9 here. So it's kind of annoying. Why don't you do the rest of yours and then, because they're very similar, and you can talk about the neck and the frets and stuff, otherwise I'll talk about everything.
I mean, this guitar is just like Tom's is based on the AZ series, which I had the pleasure of co-developing, from the very early stages. Like back in 2015, the Ibanez folks came to my place. We went through all the specs. And
that's a 3-year-long process.
It's and that is just the part where I
got
so
you got involved.
It went on before. I remember one of the Ibanez reps mentioning to us that they already thought about getting us on board for this in 2014 or something. So this has been a long time coming, and it really shows in the design how much as like one thing this guitar feels. Everything makes perfect sense. So it was a 3-year development process with me on board, and basically culminated in these guitars. And mine is pretty much based on the Prestige AZ dual humbucker one, like 24 frets. 2 humbuckers, as Tom mentioned, the dynamic switch, which enables you to get 10 tones out of the 5-way switch, basically rewires the entire guitar without getting too technical. Roasted maple neck, that's a big one. They call it S-Tech. It's like a patented type of procedure. But it's so much more elaborate than that. The premium ones would have the stock roasted neck, and this process is a bit more elaborate.
Nitrogen injection or something.
Oh Jesus, like some people in Hollywood do.
But basically, The idea behind it is just like to remove all the moisture from the neck to make it like more stable and more resonant.
I literally never got this guitar out of the case, strummed a chord and was out of tune. No matter how far you travel, it's pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
So that level of confidence that you can have in that instrument is it's just beautiful. And my biggest contribution, like when they said, well, you co-developed the AZ range, what do you want for your signature guitar? It was already the signature guitar. Like, what do I tell them to make that guitar better? Me, you know? But that one thing I thought of that I really wanted to have on my guitar that none of the other guitars featured, and that all my favorite guitars of the past had, was the mahogany body.
Okay, so
mahogany body, flame maple top, and transparent aqua blue, killer looking guitar.
Yeah. So what are you running your guitars through?
I have a few different setups. I'll talk about the one that's here in a minute because it's for convenience's sake. I always use this amp. This is the Laney Lionheart L20 2x12. This is quite an interesting amp actually because it's Class A single-ended and they cascade the preamps basically. Okay. So you can get 20 watts. It's actually a 5-watt amp. They've cascaded 4 times, which is kind of cool. But it's quite unique because it's got a vintage 30 and a G1265H in there, which gives a very unique combination. I think the one that we've mic'd up here is the G1265H. Okay. I just let them mic it up, so you're not hearing both speakers particularly. It's an amazing kind of boutique-y sounding, not even boutique, it's a boutique sounding, clean amp with a drive channel that I very rarely use, but the drive channel's great. And I run everything into the clean channel. Okay. The board I've got here is just very small for travel purposes. I normally use either an AX8, Fractal Audio AX8, or I have this enormous pedal board that Daniel Steinhardt built for me. But this board is really useful to travel. So I've got a Line 6 HX effect, if I can say it, that Yamaha very kindly gave to me, and I was blown away by it. The Helix stuff is amazing, but this is just the effects.
Yeah. Same algorithms, but without the preamps and everything.
Exactly. Yeah. But this also allows me to run, I have this signature Wampler dual fusion overdrive pedal, which I absolutely adore. And that can run in the loop of the HX, so I can switch it and set that to any configuration I want. And I just use 2 presets. There's a clean preset. And then go to the bridge pickup and switch on the dual fusion. And then there is a like a really, really nice kind of trem setting. But the effects are amazing in there. I absolutely love it. So it's a nice portable rig that you can kind of take around and just whip out the bag and just go. There's very little kind of to it really, so it's amazing.
No, really practical.
Very cool, yeah.
Nice. What about you, Mr.
Well, I'm kind of in the same mindset. I like to keep it small and simple, especially if you're on the road. If I'm in the studio, I do whatever. Okay. I take as much gear as I want and I experiment. For this entire tour, I actually brought my Laney Ironheart, which I've been using for every gig that I've done in the last 5 years or so. No, 4 years. 4 years. I've been with Laney for 4 years. This amp has been through a lot. I'm actually amazed that it's still working. It's been in so many cars, so many trunks, been beaten around. It fell down It's a
workhorse. Huh?
Yeah, it's an absolute workhorse.
This is your personal one, isn't it?
This is my personal one. Yeah. I'm running this atomic amplifier into the effects loop of it. Okay. So I'm using this as a power amp and a speaker, because the power amp is perfectly clean, has tons of headroom.
We did a tour in Germany 2014, and I used this for the jazz clean sound. And I was blown away, absolutely blown away by it. It's crazy.
Every patch that I programmed on the atomic amplifier preamp, which by the way it was, thank you Atomic, they provided that for me for this tour, it's really cool. Everything just sounds exactly like it's supposed to. And you know what I've been using when I went digital, especially a couple of years back, I was using an FR system with a monitor, full range monitor. And I thought it was great. I thought it sounded fantastic, but then I plugged into an actual amp again and was like, oh, that's what I've been missing. Because there's something about the FR systems, until now at least, it sounds a bit like a recorded guitar. Yeah. And I've played clubs where you're not mic'd up. We're oftentimes not mic'd up during our playing, so what you hear is the amps, and I just find it a bit bizarre if it sounds like you're listening to a CD or something. It's kind of funny with the gear nowadays. I used to buy gear and then find tones. Nowadays, I find gear that gets me the tone I want. So I'm very specific about the tones I want. So I'll have. bit of crunch, a bit of modulated delay, a bit of chorus. Then I have a very dark, super low mid-rangey kind of clean tone, and I actually use a different pick for that, which is kind of funny. So I roll back the tone on the guitar to like 90%, and then I have. Super dark and jazzy and almost like fake hollow body, and then I just have the old super crunch. For a singing type of lead tone. Super sustainy and
chills.
The mahogany just resonates like
sounds amazing.
Crazy.
I can't. All right, so you guys are going to play us out of that video. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you.
Seeing you again and then
Pleasure.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Brilliant. Thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Guillaume at Thomann with Mr. Tom Quayle, Martin Miller, and their Ibanez signature guitars. And
Thomann.
Woo! And I'll see you guys very soon. Thank you again.
Bye bye.